What is art? I asked myself that question when I began to write my homily. For some reason, I immediately thought of a reading by James Dillett Freeman, a minister who passed away 10 years ago. What God is like. I did not know what God is like until a friendly word came to me in an hour of need, and it was God I heard. I did not know what God is like until I heard love's feet on errands of God's mercy go up and down life's street. I did not know what God is like until I felt a hand clasp mine and lift me when alone I had no strength to stand. I think I know what God is like, for I have seen the face of God looking at me from all the human race. So, what does that have to do with art? I can think of two key connections. One, the divine, whether you call it God, soul, interconnected energy, the spirit, or any other names. And two, self-expression. When I think of art, I think of living with purpose, sincerity, and intent. Being true to the divine in your actions, whether it be athletes, painters, dancers, ministers, soldiers, plumbers, politicians, caregivers, or any other person, whether they have a career or not, a church or not, education or not, they all can be artists. Artists who, by staying true to themselves and their communities, live lives of genuine self-expression through their actions. Acts of cooking for friends and for yourself, worshiping in solitude and in sanctuary, working towards community and friendship, not only with others, but within yourself. These all become illustrations, songs, and dances of beings who span across all ages, identities, and inclinations. This creates beauty as we keep to our principles, staying honest to our hearts and our self-expression, and find balance within our divine and thus the world we live in. As we journey through our lives in this play of interconnectedness, we come upon obstacles. Obstacles not unlike a spilling of paint upon a canvas. Yet, if we find it within ourselves to artistically and patiently adjust to our environment, we may find the ability to mix our paints together and turn a smear of paint into a flower stalk, and then a bud of petals which may burst forth in color as we adjust to a shift in the path that is our journey. Just as an artist leaves their canvas to dive into the world around them, refreshing their minds and bodies, we may also dive into the divine by finding stillness and enjoyment in activities which please us, and thus continue our artistic intentions of living life to the fullest. Find the stillness, hold the stillness. Let the stillness carry me. In the Spirit, by the Spirit, with the Spirit giving power, I will find true harmony. With the words of Carl Seberg resounding in this space, look within to your stillness, divinity, energy, and artistic creativity. Search within your mind and your heart for your memories of peace, genuine feeling, and principled expression. Find what makes you happy and hold fast to it. Let it fill you and remember its taste, its feeling, and that experience. From now on, do your best to keep it within your expressions as best as you can. And let it blend into how you live your life. Be happy. Be an artist. Foster it in this community. Whether you're at a committee meeting or talking over coffee. Bring a smile to your face so that divine masterpiece that is you and everything around us may appear. Let it also foster forgiveness, as we cannot change the past or others who changed it from what we hoped it would be. Remember that as you forgive, you move forward toward a future that we all imagine, and paint it with the many colors of our humanity and community. Within my own lifestyle, I do my best to be the artist I am capable of being. Although I have gone to art classes and created and sold paintings, sculptures, and prints, that is not where my most genuine artistic ability lies. Instead, it exists fully within my service to the Unitarian Universalist communities that I am part of. Whether my role be a worship associate, assisting the RE teachers, on UU youth camp staff, volunteering at the UUA, or working on the youth board of this district. Maybe even just coming in here for Sunday worship with the people that I love to listen to someone preach. I find myself best in tune with who I am and what my values are when I am in that space. As I am giving this homily, I am creating a message that I see as a piece of art that I have constructed through self-expression and share it with others to take it as they may. For just like a painting, a collage, or a carving, the understanding of each piece is different to each individual. And therefore, art holds the ability to deliver a message. Remember that as art is self-expression, it holds the ability of energizing hope and goodness, a form of love that through all hurt, confusion, and stress gives us a spectacular emotion, a good emotion, an emotion that is appropriately expressed within the poem Origami Emotion by Elizabeth Barrett. Hope is folding paper cranes, even when your hands get cramped and your eyes tired, working past blisters and paper cuts, simply because something in you insists on opening its wings. Let your faith and support for yourself, your community, and the world fly upon the wings that we create and open wide. Do this as an individual, as a flexible lover, a supportive friend, a giving family member, and as a valuable community member. And lastly, do this as an artist of unlimited ability.
Art is all around us. Art can be used to express your feelings or to find out what they are. It can be decoration or entertainment. Sometimes it is all of those at the same time. For whatever reason art is created, it tends to also create connections. It connects us to each other, to nature, or to animals. In this way, art is an expression of our seventh principle, the interconnected web of which we are all a part. I never thought of myself as an artist. I cannot draw, sing, or play an instrument. I like dancing at parties, but that does not look very artistic. I like photography, but I don't own a good camera, and I have never taken a class, so I'm not an artist with pictures. When I was thinking about writing this piece and thinking about art, it occurred to me that I do have my own form of art. I ride horses, American saddlebreds to be exact. I've done so since I was 10 years old, and I'm actually getting pretty good at it. It is hard to describe what riding makes me feel like. When I ride, I feel happy, and it takes me away from every other issue in my life. It is hard work to ride, and it takes a lot of concentration to do it right. But I feel relaxed, and I get in touch with who I really am when I am on a horse. I almost become one with the horse. Many people use art as a way to meditate or as a spiritual practice. That is what horseback riding is for me. It is my art. If you have ever seen a horse show where riders are showing their best performance, you probably agree that it is a form of art. It looks beautiful. As a growing Unitarian Universalist, I have not fully formed my religious identity yet, and maybe I will never get there. Many people's beliefs and spiritual practices change over their lifetime. Right now, I believe in a higher power, but not a God, and I don't pray to an entity. I show gratefulness for my life and what I have by living in a way that expresses that. I don't want to take for granted what I have. I have found that I don't need to be an artist. Art helps me relax or meditate or figure out a problem I have. And that way, it is closely related to our fourth principle, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. Art has been around as long as people have. There have been expressions of art found that are very, very old. Is this because even in ancient times art was used as a spiritual practice? I think so. For many people, music can be very spiritual. The Negro spirituals developed during slavery to help people understand what was happening to them and to help them cope. Music is used in every religious service in the world for the same reason. People who meditate will put on music that helps them do so. The lyrics of certain songs help me understand something or see a way out of a problem. Poetry is another form of art. Right here at MVUU, we have a poetry club. I recently read a poem that really touched me. It is beautiful. A beautiful piece of artwork. It could be about me. It is in a book I was given when I attended the Multicultural Leadership School for Youth of Color in Boston. I would like to end by reading this to you and have you think about it for a few minutes. On the question of race. They asked me to write down my race, and I think very seriously. And I consider writing down the truth and have my answer read. I have a strong woman, colored like coffee, whispering the secrets of our past inside this body. I have a wise man, dark as chocolate, beating his drum, fighting for freedom inside this body. I have a brave woman, pale as snow, reminding that we are more than meets the eye. Her secret is safe inside this body. I have a lost man, colored like me. He is weak, stumbling from place to place, trying to find his way home, warning me of everything I do not want to become. I have all this music inside this body, the rhythm guiding me. Salsa, meringue, swing, songs of freedom and hope, a name that cannot begin to communicate where I've been and where I plan to go inside this body. They asked me to write down my race, and I think very seriously. And I consider writing down the truth and have my answer read. I have the heart of my grandmother, the spirit of her, the spirit of my grandfather, and my mother's understanding inside this body. I have jokes, Dr. Seuss, lullaby and goodnight, and marbles inside this body. I have Ray Jackson, James Tyler, Bob Marley, and We Five inside this body. I have a brother whose appearance does not reveal his culture. I have all our past and so much future inside this body. but I stop and simply write down other.